Hey, what is going on, guys? Richie from 04 Mach 1 Speed. So I was kind of in a rush when I did my review of the TN30 Mini. So there's a few things I didn't mention. I'm going to go ahead and mention on this review. So now I have two reviews of the Mini TN30. Anyways, so now that I have all the batteries in here, of course I did run through the modes for you guys. Now that I've gotten a little more used to it, I can understand how the modes work a little more. Of course, like I said, hold it all the way down from off. It goes into your Firefly mode, and it does not memorize Firefly mode. It's very, very, very impressive to see that this flashlight's probably only putting out a couple lumens. I'm not exactly sure what the specs are, but like I said, press the button and all the way down, hold it from off position. It goes into Firefly, turn it off, and then all you do is you tap it once, of course, and it goes into your last mode that you had it on. It does memorize the last mode. And then you have a light right here, which I'm sure you guys pretty much already knew that. And that light is basically just a battery indicator. It's all it does. It stays blue when the battery is full, and it blinks red when the battery is dead or it's pretty much starting to die. So you're in good condition if the light is blue. Hold down the switch from on position, and it does cycle through your modes from low, medium, and high. And then to get into your instant turbo mode, of course, you just double tap the button whichever mode you were in. It doesn't memorize the turbo mode, which I kind of wish it did, but it doesn't. So turbo mode is 3,200 lumens, and of course high is 1,900 lumens, and low is 40 lumens. So low 40 lumens, high 1,900 lumens. And medium is 435. So low 40, medium 435, and high 1900, and then your instant turbo mode is 3200 lumens for about 230 minutes. That's on strobe, I'm sorry. I'm reading the instructions for you guys. Sorry, I had to cut the video short there. Someone was knocking on my door. Anyways, like I said, peak beam intensity is 17,000, about 17,600, so of course a floody flashlight. Now, moonlight mode at 0.4 lumens, it looks like it's brighter than 0.4 lumens. I don't know if they mean 0.4 lumens per emitter, but it definitely looks a little brighter than 0.4 lumens. That'd be less than half a lumen. It looks like it's closer to 1 lumen, but don't have a lux meter. Can't tell. But to me, it looks like it's more than 0.4 lumens. But it says 98 days on 0.4 lumens. So this thing will run for approximately 98 days on this particular mode, which is pretty spectacular. And of course, your everyday, 40 lumens will last about 123 hours, and then your 400 lumens about 15 hours, and of course your high about 190 minutes. Then turbo mode 120 minutes, so basically a couple of hours, all thanks to 4 18650s instead of 3. It'd probably only run for about 90 minutes if it was 3 18650s. So now this is a question that I may get on my comments. I'm not sure. The working voltage is about 10 volts to 17 volts, which basically means you cannot run 8 CR123s in here, nor should you ever try. The flashlight will probably get much brighter on 8 CR123s for about 12 seconds, and it'll blow up. So working voltage is a maximum 17 volts, so do not use CR123s. Only use 18650s. Now the accessories it comes with, of course, is your lanyard, spare O-rings. I think it only comes with one spare O-ring since there's only one way you can open it up. And then I totally had forgotten by looking at the Thrunite TN30 a long time ago. You have this spare switch right here, and it's a transparent switch, so which leads me to believe that, of course, looking at Self-Built's previous review of the TN4A, when you put this transparent switch on there instead of this one, the light will be much brighter. You'll see a lot brighter blue light instead of the little blue dot. So the whole thing will be blue. So last night was the first night that I got to take this thing outside at night and see what it could do, and it is just immaculate. It's incredible to see how bright this flashlight is. It's unbelievable. Only thing is if you are a big fan of throwers, this flashlight is definitely not for you. This flashlight barely makes it down the street, so just keep that in mind. This is a mega floody flashlight. I must say, it does not throw much at all. Now, it's like I said, this flashlight is extremely heavy. In fact, I'm going to look at the instructions because I cannot begin to imagine how heavy this thing actually is. Of course, IPX8 standard. I'm trying to find the actual weight of this flashlight. It's pretty heavy. It's about 390 grams without batteries, and with batteries, it doesn't say, but with batteries, I imagine it probably doubles with batteries. In fact, it probably adds about close to 400 grams with the 18650s. The 4 18650s probably weigh as much as the flashlight and the battery carrier together, so you're looking at, you know, close to 700, 800 grams, something like that. Now I could be way off, but it sounds about right. But like I said, this flashlight is very, very, very heavy. It's actually one of the heaviest flashlights. It's probably twice as heavy as my WLS4. So of course that one extra 18650 weighs down the flashlight quite a bit, but they chose to do 4-cell configuration instead of 3. But just be aware this flashlight is a lot heavier than you're probably going to expect. But like I said, it doesn't bother me whatsoever. Heavy flashlights, I like heavy flashlights. It has a more of a solid feel to it, so just keep that in mind. It is pretty heavy. Alright, so I was wrong in my previous review, so I hope you guys watch this after you watch my other review. But the flashlight, like I said, in the previous review I mentioned that it was probably timed regulation as far as heat dissipation is concerned. No, it's actually thermally regulated, which is fantastic. For a $90 flashlight, that's actually incredible. So it's not timed regulation. There is no 5-minute or 3-minute step down. It automatically steps down if the flashlight gets too hot. I believe if it reaches about 80 degrees Celsius. Then the flashlight will shut down to a lower output. So it is thermally regulated, which basically means in the cold weather, if you're outside in the cold or it's cool inside anywhere, then your flashlight probably won't step down for quite a while. Then again, with most timed regulation flashlights, once it steps down, just turn it off and turn it back on, and it'll continue back to the high output. But it is cool. This one is thermally regulated, so if it reaches too high of a temperature, it will shut down and it will not go back to 3200 lumens until it cools back down. So I was definitely wrong about that, so I'm glad that it is thermally regulated. This is probably the only flashlight I've ever had that is thermally regulated and not time regulation, so now that you guys know that. So that is my more quick, in-depth review of the Mini TN30 from Thrunite. So thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if you guys have any questions at all or any questions I may not have answered, reach me in the comments and I'll probably get back to you eventually or somebody else will. So thanks a lot.